Welcome to the Topsail Insider Podcast, where you can hear all about the businesses and events in the beautiful coastal towns of the greater Topsail area of North Carolina. Coming up, I'm chatting with Miss Dawn Ellis, the Executive Director of Share the Table. It's a wonderful nonprofit organization providing food to anyone needing assistance with food insecurity or inaccessibility. They offer a food choice pantry, hot community meals and fellowship, and the Munch Backpack program for schools in eastern Pender County. We'll also discuss the new, much larger Share the Table building that's under construction and the many ways that you can donate. Stick around. Experience a new level of luxury on Topsail Island at Saltwater Suites in Surf City, North Carolina. With no nightly minimum, you can enjoy short getaways or an extended stay. Each suite features luxury bedding, full kitchens with dining tables and dishwashers. And all suites other than the 3 ADA suites have full-size washers and dryers. And don't forget about those beautiful ocean views. 24/7 self-check-in provides a hassle-free and seamless experience. Saltwater Suites is the perfect choice for your next beach getaway. Book your next Topsail visit at saltwatertopsail.com or call 910-886-4818. Saltwater Suites, Topsail Island's premier luxury hospitality experience. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Topsail Insider Podcast. My name is Krista, and I am your host. Today, I am interviewing Ms. Dawn Ellis. She is the Executive Director of Share the Table in Hampstead, North Carolina. Welcome, Dawn, and thank you for joining me today.
Thank you, Krista. Thanks for having me.
Let's start by telling everyone what Share the Table is and its mission.
Sure. Share the Table is a nonprofit that supports our food insecure neighbors with a food pantry, a community meal, and our backpack program that we call Munch.
Food insecurity is not just for people who are living in poverty. We come upon crises in our life that affect us sometimes financially, and we can't always afford to put food on the table.
You're absolutely correct. It can happen to anyone. If somebody's car breaks down that month and they don't have enough money to pay the bills, they could go into food insecurity that month. We have a wide range of clients that we serve and neighbors that we serve. You know, seniors are a big part of our clientele.
I guess it's anyone who's living paycheck to paycheck, which we've all done at some point in our life.
Exactly.
And you're right. If your car breaks down or you need new tires or whatever, that throws everything off. Seniors, they're on fixed incomes with their Social Security checks, and sometimes it's just hard to make ends meet. So food insecurity can be a lot of things. So you said food pantry, community meals and fellowship, which we're going to talk about more in a few minutes, and the Munch Backpack program. Let's talk about the food pantry first. So you have a food choice pantry. Now, in some cases, you drive up, you receive a box of food from food banks and pantries, but in the case of Share the Table, you offer what you call a food choice pantry. What does that mean, and why did you decide to handle Share the Table this way?
We feel client choice is a big part of the dignity that the neighbors we serve can benefit from. As far as picking the food off the shelves like a mini grocery store, they can pick what they're going to eat, what their families are going to eat. Food is not wasted that way. And then also, they build relationships with our volunteers that are so special. Our volunteers get to know them, get to know what's going on in their lives. They, know if their family member's sick or if they had a doctor's appointment, and they ask them the next week, how did your doctor's appointment go? How's your mom doing? So those relationships are built, I think, when they come into the building and they get to pick the food that they want and talk to our volunteers.
Very good. Who has access to the pantry? Do they just show up and express a need?
Yes. If they feel that they need help, our doors are open to them and they can show up, and there is some data brief form that we have them fill out. But yes, anybody's welcome.
Let's go ahead and talk about the days that you're open for people to come and get food from the pantry.
Sure. We're open Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 10 to 11:30 in the morning and 1 to 2:30 in the afternoon. Thursdays, 10 to 11:30 in the morning and 2 to 3:30 in the afternoon. And then on Sundays, we do it a little later for people that, work during the week and need a different time, 4:30 to 6 p.m. And on Sunday evenings, we also do the community meal.
your hours are on the door as well as on the website and socials too, correct?
Yes.
Can you go ahead and give me the address for the location?
Sure. We're located at 12395 Highway 50, and that's the corner of Highway 50 and Shepherd's Road.
Okay, let's go ahead and talk about the Munch Backpack Program. I love this program. Munch stands for
Meals Until No Child Hungers.
Tell us a little bit about the backpack program and how it started and how you've expanded it.
Sure. When we started Share the Table, there was already currently a backpack program at North Topsail Elementary. One of the teachers started it there. Hampstead United Methodist Church was supporting them with the food. So when we started Share the Table, I went to them and said, can we expand this to all the schools on this side of Pender County? And they jumped on board and it grew from there. So now we do all the elementary schools, middle schools, and we also have a food closet at the high school.
Very good. Okay. So you're giving new backpacks each year. Who's donating the backpacks?
Kiwanis Club of Topsail Island donates the backpacks for
all
us.
of them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
The food that we get for this program comes from various resources, but Hampstead United Methodist, individuals donate to Share the Table and we buy food from there. But a lot of it comes from Lowe's Food.
Really?
Yes. They have their program where you can purchase things at the register. I think they call
I've
them
seen that, yes.
their push items. And so all of that food goes to our backpack program.
I didn't know what I was donating to.
Well,
They're
thank
like,
you.
do you want to buy some extra? I'm like, sure.
Yes,
okay, well, that's wonderful.
It's great. Yes.
So I'm assuming that the counselors at the school give you a number of how many backpacks they need for the school year, for the month, the week.
Yeah, we have a Munch coordinator, and she is in touch with the counselors and the social workers at all the schools. So every week they'll say, we need this many backpacks. We're packing about an average currently of 100 backpacks a week.
Oh, wow. The number changes from week to week?
It does, just based on if somebody doesn't pick up their backpack that week or...
Okay, so let's talk about how Share the Table got started. Tell me how you came up with this idea.
A friend and I have been talking for years about doing a free community meal at Faith Harbor. And finally, I think God just kind of pushed it.
Really?
Kicked me in the butt and said, just do it. Stop talking about it. And so we did. We started the free community meal and became partners with the Food Bank of Central and Eastern North Carolina at that time.
You were doing this through your church, Faith Harbor?
Yes.
So you started a free community meal, not just open to the people in your church who needed the help, but for everyone.
For everyone.
Okay. And then you partnered with the food bank right away?
Yes.
Okay. So tell me how that went initially.
The need was greater than we thought it was.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we became partners with the food bank. We would have extra food that we would set on a table, non-perishables for them to take home, not only the leftovers from dinner, but non-perishable canned goods and that sort of thing. And the people that were coming to the meal would rush to that table to get that food to take home.
Oh, really?
So we realized that the need was greater than we actually thought.
Yeah.
So that's when we started the food pantry part of Share the Table.
They would visit the pantry during that community meal.
We actually set up hours sort of like we have now. Like it would be during different times during the week. And we would pull everything out at Faith Harbor and the narthex and they could choose what they wanted.
Yeah.
And we'd put it all back. And so as it continued to grow, we knew we needed to expand that and find a different space.
Right. So you moved to a new location for the pantry solo by itself?
Yes.
Okay.
It was actually across the street from Faith Harbor. I had owned a gift shop across the street.
Okay.
And was closing it at that point. So we closed the gift shop and opened the food pantry in that space. And it was nice because it was right across the street from the church.
Right.
So they could, on Sundays, they could still go to the pantry and then come back for the meal. But then we continued to grow and needed an even bigger space. And we really wanted to house everything in one location.
And so at this point, you're still doing the meals on Sunday and the pantries across the street. And now you're looking for a bigger location. How did you find the new location?
We were at a meeting and somebody from Emma Anderson said, I think I have a space for you. And we went and looked at it and it was perfect for us at the time.
And now you're back in doing the meals and the pantry all in one space?
Yes.
Nice. And along comes Hurricane Florence.
Yes.
Now, how did daggone it, Florence.
Yes.
How did that affect your meals?
That affected everything, but it affected our meals because we basically ran out of space to have our tables and chairs where people would come and sit down and eat. We needed that space for food storage because the amount of people that needed food at that time severely increased.
Oh, that's right. We had so many displaced.
Yes, lots of displaced people, lots of people thrown for a tailspin and weren't able to support themselves as far as needing food. And the amount of food that we were getting from all over the state. I mean, it was amazing. We had
Really?
busloads and truckloads of food being donated, which was
Yeah.
amazing. We had to actually, at that point, we rented a storage unit outside. We had a shipping container that we had to
Really?
rent
Yeah.
to put in front of the building to store everything that was needed to support everybody.
That's incredible. Okay. So yeah, now I get why the tables were out and you went to to-go meals. To-go
Yes.
meals. And how did switching to the to-go meals go for you?
I mean, it worked smoothly, but I missed, and I'm hoping the neighbors that we serve miss the actual fellowship of, coming in and sitting down and talking to people while you eat.
Sure.
We're hoping to get back to that.
Okay. You just had a groundbreaking.
Yes.
For your new space.
We are so excited. We are going to have a brand new facility, and it's going to be about 3 times the size of our current facility.
Wow. Okay. There's the room you need.
Yes. So we will have those tables and chairs for people to sit down and eat, and we're going to just expand everything. We're going to expand our freezer, our cooler capacity, so we'll be able to have more fresh produce and more frozen proteins, and we're going to do education classes.
You're going to have a commercial kitchen
Yes.
in there?
We'll have a commercial kitchen so we can do cooking classes, health and nutrition classes, budgeting classes.
Love it. And lots of tables for these community meals.
Yes.
People get to come back and sit down and have some fellowship. So talking about those community meals, I want to go back to that now. You mentioned that they started out as sit down. You had to switch to the to-go meals after Florence. With having more space now in the kitchen and the tables, this means you're going to go back to the sit-down meals. Will the meals still be on Sunday evenings, 4:30 to 6?
Yes.
Yes. And the website says these meals are for anyone hungry, of course, and then you included and lonely. And I wanted to just hear more about why you decided to include lonely and what prompted this decision.
We found that we have a lot of seniors that are not only needing food, or they might not need food, but they need people in their lives, and having them come and sit in fellowship with people while they eat gives them that human connection that everyone needs.
I love that. So glad that you're doing that. You mentioned that with this new space, you're going to be incorporating some new classes. You mentioned health and nutrition and budgeting classes. Why are you incorporating these classes into your program now?
We just want to give the neighbors that we serve the opportunity to learn about healthy eating, healthy ways to cook, and then also budgeting. If they're struggling with making ends meet, maybe a budgeting class will help them figure some things out. So it's just education for them, just offered if that's something that they feel they need.
Who will be teaching these classes?
We have had several individuals in the community offer that have experience with health and nutrition. There's also different organizations in the area that we're looking to partner with. So we haven't set all that in stone yet, but we're reaching out.
You're in the planning stages.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about some statistics. I found these amazing. Between the pantry, the backpack program, and the community meals, can you tell the listeners the statistics that you told me?
Sure. We're feeding an average of 1,000 people a week in Pender and Onslow County.
That's amazing. 1,000 a week.
Yes.
That's crazy.
We're right there on the Pender-Onslow line, so we're feeding both counties, but we won't turn anybody away. We do have clients that come from New Hanover, and if there's some people are just traveling through and need support, we help anybody. We don't turn anybody away. You
also mentioned the pounds of food that went out the door. That was 587,522 pounds. And this was from the year 2022. These are the statistics for last year. That went out your door to help people. That's astounding. That number's amazing.
I don't think people realize how much food it takes to run an organization like this.
I certainly did not.
I didn't either.
Really?
And it's just been amazing.
And that is equivalent to almost 500,000 meals that you've served.
Yes.
That's amazing. Thank you for what you're doing for our community.
So much. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so let's talk about how you are raising money and getting your donations for Share the Table, but specifically building this new building.
Yes, our capital campaign has been a learning process for me. I'd never done one of these before, but this community has been amazing. We have raised almost $1.4 million.
What?
In
for the
3 years.
For
the new building.
Oh my gosh. I had no idea it was that high.
Yes.
Okay. You were talking about the construction costs. They've gone up, especially over the last couple of years. It's insane. So what the initial figure that you had, 3 years ago, you said?
Yes. The initial figure, has gone up, of course, with construction costs changing. So we're just rolling with it, continuing to raise funds and raise money to upfit the building.
Who's the builder that you're working with?
A&A Builders.
And they are looking for best cost options, I'm sure, throughout this process.
Yes, they're working with their contractors to get, because of what we do and that we're a nonprofit, they're trying to get us the best prices.
Very good. And then you also mentioned getting that construction loan to get, I just saw the metal beams going up on your building. So I know you're in process. So you got that initial construction loan from Coastal Bank and Trust?
Yes. They have been very supportive. They have donated as a company to us and then, again, granted us this construction loan. So I'm very excited.
Okay. You have 4 major fundraisers each year. You've got a ton of little fundraisers that the community is helping with you, which we're going to get to in a minute. But let's talk about these 4 major fundraisers where people can really get involved and support you here. Let's start with January 1st, because that one's crazy.
That one's coming up. Everybody get ready.
Yes.
January 1st is the dolphin dip.
Let's explain what that is for people who might not know. If you live here, I think people actually are really looking forward to this for a while, building up to it. I've seen them. They're ready to go. But for anyone who doesn't know what the dolphin dip is, tell them.
It's like a polar plunge. You run into the cold ocean. Well, no, the ocean's very warm that day.
Oh, right. I'm sure. Meanwhile, it was 28 degrees here today.
It's going to be 75 and sunny on January 1st.
I'll be praying for that.
Thank you. So you run into the ocean and kind of start the year off fresh.
How long do you stay in there? You just dip and get out?
Just run in and run out. Well, some people frolic, but I run in and run out.
Also, you're participating. You're jumping in there.
I am participating, but I didn't used to. So this fundraiser was started by Brian and Rebecca Moxie. And in 2018, they gifted this fundraiser to Share the Table. So we took it over. So prior to that, my husband and my son would jump in every year, but I did not. But now I feel obligated that I have to do it.
How are the funds or the donations accepted for this event?
Sure. We have sponsorships available for this event. That's how we make a lot of the money. And then also T-shirt sales that day. Every year we have Topsail High School students do a contest to design the shirt. We have a different one every year. And then, so we sell the T-shirts and usually we have hats and visors and other things for sale as well.
Okay.
And so that's how we make the profit. It's a free event to the community. Everybody's welcome. We do have a costume contest as well.
What does that entail?
Just people can dress up in different costumes. We have adult and child costumes and then group costume contests. So 3 different categories.
They dip in with their costumes on?
Some do. Some take them off before. We do the contest before the dip. So the event officially starts at 11 and then we'll do the costume contest and then everyone runs into the ocean at noon.
I've never been.
It's fun just to come watch if you don't want to dip.
I will buy a T-shirt and I'll come watch. Okay. So moving on, we have, this one's really cute. I love this fundraiser. It's called Dogs for a Cause photo contest, and it's with Salty Turtle. Tell me about this one.
So this was our first year doing this, and we were very excited. So it's an online contest.
You just did it.
We just did it this year.
Okay.
Yep. This was our first year. We started in August and ended at the end of September. And then the prize for that was the first prize. So whichever dog got the most votes. So you can enter your dog in the contest. It's all online. You get your friends and family to vote for your dog, $1 a vote, and the dog with the most votes at the end wins.
Is there an entry fee to get your pet in there?
There is an entry fee. I believe it was $20 this year.
Okay.
So $20 to enter your pet, and you upload your picture. And
then $1 per vote. And you can vote as many times as you want?
Yes.
That's great.
Yes.
Okay.
And we did the top 3 dogs. So second and third prizes were donated by Petco and Pet Supplies Plus. But the grand prize, and I think a lot of people were very excited to get this prize.
Did they know what the grand prize was when entering the contest?
Yes. That was a big draw, I think, for a lot of people.
Yes.
The top dog is getting their picture on the March 2024 Salty Turtle beer can release.
That's the coolest.
Yeah, it was very exciting.
Oh my God. I'm entering my dog next year. Got to get her groomed and all pretty.
That's right.
All right. So they get the picture of their dog on the can released in March. Is it a limited run on that can?
Yes.
Is that it? Okay. Mm-hmm. Are they going to do this again next year?
We're hoping.
I sure hope so. That's fun.
Yeah. So in March, we'll do, I believe it's March 4th. We're going to do a release party at Salty Turtle.
Fun.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Salty Turtle.
Yes,
Love
definitely.
that. Who came up with that idea?
I actually saw it on a nonprofit site where other people had done it, and
So
so
cool.
started it. Yeah.
So cool. And I'm glad that Salty Turtle was on board with that.
Yes,
That's
they're
really
wonderful
nice.
supporters.
Okay, let's talk about this charity golf tournament. Tell me about that.
We have 2 wonderful volunteers and their husbands that came to me and said, we want to do a golf tournament for you when we started our capital campaign. And I said, that's wonderful. I know nothing about golf,
Yeah.
but if you guys can do it, please go for it. And they went above and beyond. I've had golfers both years come and tell me it's one of the best golf tournaments they've ever participated in as far as a charity golf tournament.
That's cool.
So they were
Okay,
it's wonderful.
so these are 2 volunteers that were already working with Share the Table.
Yes.
And they just like, hey, we want to do this thing. Okay, I was going through your social media page, and I wanted to just see what else I could learn about you before our interview today. And I saw the National Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram donated a 2023 Jeep for the hole-in-one prize. Did anyone get a hole-in-one?
Unfortunately, no.
No. It's like, I don't even play golf. I don't even, but I'm going to go out there in the next one. I'm just going to slam that ball. Just try. I want that Jeep so bad. I was wondering, I'm like, I wonder if anyone got that Jeep. Oh, that's a bummer.
But
it was beautiful.
We really appreciate.
Okay. So I just thought, you want to tell people how much you raised for that golf tournament?
Sure. The first year they did it, we raised a little over 23,000, and then this year we raised over 26,000.
Amazing. That's a huge amount of money.
And a lot of that has to also do with sponsors. So,
oh yeah.
And it's amazing because these ladies went to an area that we really hadn't touched as far as sponsors before, as far as Sneads Ferry, Jacksonville area. Those are people we really hadn't reached out to that often for sponsorships and support. So that was another nice added bonus for us.
It was hosted by the North Shore Golf Club in Sneads Ferry.
Yes.
Right. And so all of the sponsors that they got were sort of in that area?
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay. Yep. Got to get everybody involved, right?
That's right.
Okay. So that happened in the fall. Oh, for the last 2 years, that happened in the fall. And we're hoping that we get another year of that, right? We're planning on it.
I think I got a commitment from them that they're going to do it again.
Nice. Okay. So in November, and this also just happened, you've been doing this for 9 to 10 years already, something like that. Let's talk about your restaurant roundup.
Yes, we have wonderful restaurants who compete every year, and they donate their time, their food is all donated for this event. So they set up tables at the Moose Lodge and basically give a tasting to all of the people that come to the event. Okay. And then the people at the event vote and on their favorite restaurant of the night. So
I didn't know it was a competition.
Yes, so they get their...
Oh, okay. That's a spin. I like that spin. Okay, so it is $50 to get your ticket to go sit at that table and do the tastings, right? The restaurants are donating the time and the food, and all the proceeds go straight to Share the Table.
Yes.
There's not a percentage here. It's just all proceeds. That's so great.
Yes.
And the Moose Lodge also donates that space too, right? There's no payment for that. It's wonderful. I love the people in our area. They're so generous.
I am overwhelmed every day by the support that we get. It's amazing.
So different people do bring in the desserts. These are just individuals in the community bring in desserts?
We have individuals. We have other restaurants that donate as well. And we've done this the last 2 years at the Restaurant Roundup. It's a dessert auction. So we'll auction off the dessert.
Nice.
To raise money as well.
And let's talk about that wine and spirit ring toss. Like the best idea for ring toss ever. I better see that at the fair next year.
The adult carnival game.
Yes.
Yes. This is the first year we've done that as well. So we're very excited and very pleased about how everybody got excited and involved in it. We had local distributors, Hidden Ships Distillery, Walton's Distributing, Blue Shark Vodka, Wyndham Distributing, Jackson Family Wine, Empire Distributors, and some private donors. All donated wine and different spirits for this event. And we set it up like a ring toss. So you throw your ring, and you have to buy your ring, of course, to raise funds. And you get to take, if you ring a bottle, you get to take it home.
That's so cool. That's fun. How much did you raise from that event total?
That event, we raised about probably $16,500.
That's a wonderful fundraiser. Okay, so we covered all 4 of those, but now let's get to the additional local support. And I just want to say here to all the listeners, there's a long list. We were just talking about how amazing the people in our community are. And we have a long list of people who give to Share the Table a lot. I don't know that we're going to go over the entire list right now, but tell me about some of these people who are donating.
Sure. One thing that we're really excited about that's new, just starting out, is the Greater Topsail Community Garden. This is sponsored by Kiwanis Club of Topsail Island area and Surf City Rotary. And they're involving so many community members in this. The high school kids have built raised beds, and different community members are tending the garden, and master gardeners are involved. It's really been a community effort.
Where is the community garden?
It is off 210 on Valhalla Way.
That's right across from
Our Yard, Your Sail, and the water tower.
Yeah. Okay.
The students built these raised beds in Mr. English's construction class
At Topsail High School.
Topsail High School.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had volunteers pick them up and then actually put them together. Like they built them in halves.
Uh-huh.
And then we had volunteers come and put them together at the garden.
Very nice. Okay. Have they started planting anything yet?
We do have some winter plantings. I'm not exactly sure what's in there. I know there's some carrots and some lettuce, I believe. There's probably some more that I'm not aware of. Nothing's been harvested yet, but there are some winter vegetables in there. But the big push is going to be for spring planting.
Wonderful.
And all the vegetables from that garden are coming to share the table.
That was my next question. Like who has that? So it's all for share the table?
It's all for share the table.
That's incredible. Tell me about Pender Porch, because this is another local nonprofit. Are they new?
They are fairly new,
I
yes,
thought
to the
so.
area. And they are wonderful as well. They organize neighborhoods to do food drives. They organize team captains, and those captains of the neighborhood organize the food drives, and then they have volunteers pick up the food off everybody's porches, and then they donate it to local food pantries. So it's not just us. They donate to
everyone,
Horsies and everyone in the area.
Okay. I know that you have a lot of places that are actually they do drink specials in their restaurants. You want to name some of those?
Definitely. The Crab Pot, Shuck and Shack, Sears Landing, and the Sea Witch Lounge all did drink special fundraisers for us this year.
Nice. I found this one very interesting. Hymns and Brews. Did I say that? Brewery? Hymns and Brews.
Yes.
So that is at our famous trailer bar.
World famous trailer bar.
World famous.
Yes. They have a group of musicians every year that get up and play hymns and Christmas music and have a fun time. And the last several years, the money from that event has come to share the table.
Nice. Okay. Who else you got?
Oh, lots of people. The Peak this year did a fun Battle of the Breweries and Barbecue for us.
Oh, tell me about that.
And I guess this was their second Battle of the Breweries, but they added a Battle of the Barbecue. So they had two people cooking barbecue, and it was $10 a plate, and all the proceeds from the barbecue went to share the table.
Nice. Where's the Peak?
The Peak is in Surf City.
Okay. The Peak, is that a brewery?
It's a tap house kitchen. They actually do really great pizzas and other fun things there.
I'll have to check out the Peak.
You need to check that out. Gideon Heating and Air is our big top sponsor this year for Restaurant Roundup and Dolphin Dip. We're so excited to have their support.
Nice. Gideon Heating and Air. I'm going to want to interview you. Just putting the word out. I'll be in contact. Thank you, Gideon Heating and Air.
Definitely. Yes, we're very excited for that partnership.
And you also have a lot of local food drives too. You want to mention some of those?
Sure. Surf City Fitness, Topsail High School sports teams, and student government. A lot of the elementary schools and middle schools do food drives for us. Churches do food drives. It's just amazing. And some of the local restaurants too do food drives. So it's just amazing the support that we get. Like, I am overwhelmed every day.
Who helps you cook these Sunday meals?
We've had some great groups volunteer recently to do that. The Kiwanis Club of Topsail Island does that every other month. We also have Faith Harbor United Methodist Church doing it once a month for us. The Crab Pot and the Edge Church have also been cooking some meals. And when we get into the new facility with our commercial kitchen, I'm going to try to recruit some other people to do that. I'm the normal Sunday cook, so it's nice to have some other groups come in and help. So, yes.
How many people are you serving each Sunday right now?
Each Sunday, we're about 120 to 130 people.
My gosh. Dawn, are you cooking for 120 people?
Yes.
That's incredible. No, girl, we got to get you some help.
The space we have now is so limited. So like I said, when we get into the new building, it's going to be amazing.
Wow. Okay. You're still doing the go-to meals right now?
Yes.
So 120 to-go meals
yes.
that you're preparing each Sunday. You receive checks from, I know the Hampstead Women's Club gives to a lot of organizations
they do.
Around our community.
They've been a long-time supporter of Share the Table.
And the Greater Topsail Chamber of Commerce awarded you a nice award recently. You were the nonprofit representative of the year.
Yes, that was very exciting.
That's so cool. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. You said initially that like as soon as you started this whole thing, you got involved with the food bank of Central and Eastern North Carolina. Tell me about that relationship.
We really couldn't do what we do without this partnership. We have not only relationships with the local grocery stores through them that we pick up food from weekly, Publix, Walmart, Harris Teeter, Lowe's Food, and then also some partnership with Food Lion. But we also pick up food from the food bank weekly, and then they give us education classes and support that we need as far as food safety and partnerships with other food banks, and we learn from each other. So
where are
it's
they
actually
located?
They're located in Wilmington, but the main branch is in Raleigh.
Okay.
So they have a branch in New Bern and Fan Hills and several different branches.
But so y'all are driving down to Wilmington and getting food from them
once a week.
But you're also picking up food weekly from these our local grocery stores here in the area.
Yes.
Are you getting non-perishable canned goods, boxed goods, or are you getting or fresh produce?
We're getting all of it. We get their produce, dairy, bakery, and dry goods.
Oh, bakery too. That's nice.
And then also frozen proteins. So before their meats go out of date, if they haven't sold, they freeze them and they donate them to us.
Tell me about the Pender County Faith and Food Coalition. Is that along the same vein there?
That has grown out of some partnerships or relationships with other local food pantries and backpack programs. And we just formed that the last several years. So it's just a coalition where we come together monthly and talk about, what's going on, what our needs are,
Gotcha.
How can we work together to meet the needs of the community.
And we can't complete this without talking about the church's involvement. You get a lot of help from the churches. Tell me how they're helping you.
All the local churches have been involved
from the beginning.
From the beginning,
right.
Yes. They were, the founding base of Share the Table. So it's amazing. We have board members from the local churches. They do food drives for us. They make referrals to us. If they know somebody in the community that's in need, they send them our way.
That makes sense.
They do monetary support. It's just amazing.
Okay. So Dawn, was starting an organization like Share the Table or a nonprofit always something that you wanted to do? Is this the path that you imagined you would be on when you were going to school?
Not exactly. I have a master's degree in social work, so I've always wanted to help people, but I never really thought about nonprofit work, to be honest. I worked in hospitals and nursing homes, but starting a nonprofit was never on my radar until it was dropped in my lap.
It's such a huge feat, though. It's such a huge accomplishment. You have your own 501c3. Did I say that right?
Yes.
I'm getting used to this nonprofit linguity.
That's right.
Okay. I mean, it's a huge thing for you not to have had. When you say I'm working in nonprofits, and you founded a nonprofit.
I've had lots of support, and it's definitely been a learning process the whole way. But it's a passion, and I love it.
Are you writing those grants, applications?
We have a grant committee, but yes, I'm part of that grant committee. And
in this campaign, it's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot, but it's amazing. Like I said, it's just learning. I just can't express how grateful I am to this community.
Yeah. I found a testimonial online and I'd like to read it. So she says, Share the Table sustained me with food and water while I was living in my car for 2 months. They made sure I had a can opener and other resources that helped me look for work and an apartment. They also provided me with a hot meal every Sunday, which I looked forward to every week. I found side work 2 months later, and I am able to head home. Without Share the Table, it would have been even harder. I thank all the volunteers.
These testimonies are what keep us going.
Yeah.
We do ask the people we serve if they feel comfortable sharing their story to please do so we can share it with others. I'm so glad we're there to help people with the basic need. It's just so important.
You're sustaining them. You're giving them food, but then that allows them to take this one massive thing off their plate, no pun intended, and lets them go and look for a job and find a home and get back on their feet. And I wish I were that noble to be able to help people the way that you're helping people. I really think you should be so proud. She mentioned the volunteers. How many volunteers do you have right now at Share the Table?
We have over 100 volunteers.
They're helping on a weekly basis? Like they all come in each week? Like how often are they coming in?
Most of our volunteers have a weekly shift. So they work every Tuesday or every Sunday. Mm-hmm. And the shifts are about 2 hours each shift. But we also have volunteers that are on our board of directors, that are on committees for us. So there's lots of different options. Do the retail recovery pickups at the grocery stores, work with a munch backpack program, or, serving the meals. There's just a lot of different avenues. But we are so blessed. We actually have a waiting list.
And how long is it? A rather lengthy wait list?
I think so, yes. To be honest, we have a volunteer that's our volunteer coordinator who's amazing, who has really helped me and taken that off my plate. So I'm not exactly sure how long it is right now, but I know it's pretty lengthy. But
yeah,
we are going to need more volunteers when we go to our new facility. Right. So the opportunities are coming. We do have a sub list as well. So we kind of move off the wait list to our sub list. And, our regular weekly volunteers who go on vacation or get sick, then we use a sub list to support them. And then we go from there.
How does one become a volunteer or even just sign up to be on the wait list?
They can email us at sharethetable.nc@gmail.com, and we will get them an interest list and get them on our wait list.
Okay. Let's talk about those future plans. We know you have this beautiful building that's going up. And what is the projected completion date for the new building?
A&A Builders is telling us probably about 10 months from now. We'll see. And that's going to be at the corner of Highway 17 and Perkins Road.
Okay. I go by there every day. I get to see the progress a little bit at a time.
When the steel went up yesterday, I was so excited.
It was so exciting.
And the week before, the slab got laid.
So besides your building, are there any other future plans that we can discuss here about Share the Table?
No, we're just very excited about what this building is going to bring to the neighbors we serve, the different opportunities we're going to be able to offer, the more healthy food options we're going to be able to provide. So we're just excited about that.
Okay, so we do this thing called Final Thoughts at the end of every episode. I just want to know the one thing that you really want the listeners to know, either about you, Dawn, or Share the Table.
I thought about this. And the one thing I think I want people to realize is that despite the area that we live in, everybody thinks it's a resort town, it's a beautiful area, but the need is great here. You go off the beaten path and you see different parts of this community, and the need, the poverty is great. So I just want everybody to know that Share the Table is here to support our neighbors in need, but we can't do it without community support. And we are so grateful for the support that we get from the community, and we're able to give back to the neighbors that we serve.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. So let's talk about that contact information. The current address right now is 12395 NC Highway 50, and that's Hampstead. Even though it feels like it's Surf City, it's Hampstead, North Carolina 28443. The phone number there at Share the Table is 910-616-8897. And the email address, again, is sharethetable.nc@gmail.com. To learn more about Share the Table or to donate online, you can go to their website. That is sharethetable.nc.com. Or you can donate by mail, if you'd like, P.O. Box 4170. That's in Surf City, North Carolina, 28445. You're on Instagram, correct? That's at sharethetable_NC, and Facebook is Share the Table NC as well. So find and follow them there so you can keep up with all of their fundraisers and track the progress of their beautiful building. And you're also on LinkedIn as well. If you missed any of that, always, all of this information can be found in the Share the Table episode show notes. So go look for that there, along with all of those people we mentioned earlier that we're going to list that really contribute heavily to Share the Table. So thank you again, Dawn Ellis, for being on Topsail Insider Podcast and telling us all about Share the Table.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Hey, thank you for joining me today on Topsail Insider. If you liked today's episode, please hit the follow or subscribe button so that you can get the Topsail Insider Podcast delivered automatically to whichever podcast platform you're listening on. And if you're a business owner and you wish to set up a pre-interview or you want to advertise, please email me at topsailinsider@gmail.com. Please also find and like the Topsail Insider Facebook page. I provide links to the new podcast there each week, as well as providing photos of the businesses that I'm highlighting, along with any of their upcoming events. So hey, let's do this again next week. I'll see you around Topsail.